Okay, so this week, let's go ahead and look at a currency pair here that may be setting up for something interesting. We're looking at Aussie dollar here. This is a weekly chart, so we're really looking at the big picture here, possible long-term trade that we may be looking at. And what we're seeing here is we're seeing some nice resistance, and basically the market's coming back up to that previous resistance here. Pretty strong resistance. Look at this area here where it tested it out. We have this area as well. And then if we go back a little bit further, we have all this support here, previous resistance, previous support. So all of that previous activity is really telling us that this price area is a pretty significant price area for the market. Now the market is approaching that resistance, so we could possibly have a nice breakout. If it does break through that resistance area, you may want to target this 382. So I've drawn a set of fibs from the high down to the low here. I like the 382 here just because it's just about right on that round number if we're being kind of conservative, right? If we go back, we have all this previous activity right here, a little bit right here, creating some support at that level. However, if it does break through that level, that 50% here is pretty interesting as well. Look at how it's, we have some previous support right here, lands right up on some previous support back here. And then look at all of this resistance back here. So if it does keep going, that could be a nice possible target as well. And of course, that is a long-term trade because look what we're talking about. We're looking at a possible break of this resistance, and we're talking about the market moving a good, maybe about 500, 600, 700 pips, right? Now, eventually that may happen. Let's go ahead and take this down to a little bit smaller time frame. So we're taking it down to a daily chart here, and then let's just look at what's happening. We have the market coming up to that resistance here. Again, we just talked about that. Not so sure it is going to break yet, and that's just because look at the stochastics. We're definitely overbought here as the market is approaching that resistance. However, we do know that the market could break through the resistance and stay up here in this overbought area for a little while. Could do a little bit of retracement as it broke through that resistance, and then head back up to that maybe towards that fib again. And then what you may see in your stochastics here is you may see a little bit of divergence where that previous high is starting to gradually get a little bit lower, showing that there's a little bit of weakening here in the market. So if we don't see that breakout, we could also have a nice bounce off, maybe shorter term I should say, of this resistance area. But this is definitely a currency pair as it's approaching this resistance here. We're really going to be watching this one here this week.